Fee 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 fa 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 fo 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 fe 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 fe. Man, we're here. It's 2020 and shit is fucked up. Welcome to the show. I'm your host Gazoo. It's PMPVsMorning if I'm not mistaken, and everything looks to be working on my end, so let's just type in this little bear with me. Oh, it's been a while, guys. It's like I need to crack my knuckles and sort of figure out what's going on and just tweak all the dials, and man, it's tricky, but we're getting there. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me on, well, this would be a Saturday morning. Also, I should probably, hang on, let me just make sure. So the audio stopped. That's to be expected. And I just want to make sure, yep, the audio is still coming through clear. Please bear with me. I have not done this in a while, but it looks like the chat is up and running. Slaygun's been a tremendous help in sort of putting all this together and making sure that I don't step on anything or any cables, virtual or otherwise. So why don't we, start it off slow. We're just gonna we're gonna play a bit of C64 music because that's what we're here to do. And man, it's been a really long time. Why don't we take... yes, look. Let's start it off simple. We'll have a bit of Crom Blom, Block and Bubble. It's been a long time. I need to really get back into the swing of things. But things have changed. Like, it's... I'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But let's start it off with a little bit of Crom Blom, Block and Bubble. little bit of Cromblom with a bit of Block and Bubble. And we've got some people in the chat. Got people hanging out. Ziona just joined, I think for the first time ever. And you can join the rest of us. For those of you listening on the interwebs, there are many... So thanks to Slagon, there are many, many ways to tune in, apparently. I think this is going live on Slay Radio's YouTube channel. It's going live on PlanMixPlay's YouTube channel. It's going live on Facebook. And also live possibly on Twitch. But if you do want to have your chat eternalized in the visuals that are part of the show, well, then www.planmixplay is where you have to go. .com. Sorry, it's not .where you have to go. That's not, it's not a real domain place. And I hope to do more. There's been a few changes, and I'm hoping to showcase a few of them tonight, but not too many, because, man, once you get rolling, you quickly realize how, I like to think that I try to build things simple and user-friendly, but, man, PlanMixPlay has gotten to the point where there are a lot of things up in the air. And, yes, Ziona says it's not her first rodeo on PlanMixPlay.com. That's probably true. I have to admit, it's been a while, so I don't remember, but cheers for joining us. And again, anyone else who wants to come along, go to www.planmixplay.com, and you can chat along too. I see Raspor just joined. Hey, Raspor. And people are in Discord as well. I've got stuff to talk about, and also, no, let's wait with that. I should go get, yes, I'll do that. Not going to tell you what I'm going to do. What I am going to do is I'm going to put on, let's get a bit of Funkadelia with Moon Patrol. It's a little nice ditty. Oh, and feel free to send in requests if you please. In the meantime, enjoy a little bit of Funkadelia with Moon Patrol. And that was Funkadelia with Moon Patrol, and I have already found one of the first bugs that I wish wasn't the case. PMP used to do a great job of auto-updating Slay Radio's stream titles. It no longer does this, probably because in about a year or so, Slaygon may have changed things. Or he hasn't, who knows. I've asked him, I'll confer with him. So the whole point of today and tomorrow for me, which would be one day for you, is I wanted to sort of really fucking balls to the wall, hit this shit hard, and figure out if I could get most of the stuff that I've been working on working. Or actually, that's a total lie. Not most of the stuff. A part of the stuff that I've been working on. Because you're seeing a subset. Next song coming up, I have a little bit of surprise for you. And Slaygon tells me it hasn't changed that page in years. It may be a internal switch that I've forgotten to turn on. And yeah, as for Ziona, I think she mentioned she's using. Why don't we give that message a like? Apparently, she is using her mobile phone from the bed. Hopefully, all you are listening out there having a good time. It should be morning in the EU. Here it's evening time, around 8:15. I will be your host until around 10 o'clock, maybe a little longer, depending on how things go. And feel free to send in some requests via slayradio.org. And if you hit the right request, something special will happen. In fact, the next song coming up will highlight what that special thing is. So let's take it away with a bit of Blastinox, Crack Out the Blastinox remix. This really does remain one of my all-time faves of the C64 remixes. Blastinox really has outdone himself here. Take it away, Blastinox. And Blastinox Remix, a bit of crack out there for you. And Char was saying the full screen rendering is looking good, and I agree, it's not bad. It's so PlanMixPlay, again, just filling in for those who don't know, which would be like probably one person by now, because I fucking every chance I get, I tell the story. I'm broadcasting with PlanMixPlay, software that I've written and am, well, working on, and yeah, we're doing some integrated video stream this time, and there is a bit of encoding gunk. So PlanMixPlay only handles MP4 files, so the totally real Commodore 64 that I use to make this footage, which is, it just happens to be a software Commodore 64. It's real though. It's just, you know, it's in an executable. And yeah, that happens to produce a few I don't know, ugly pieces of residue on the encode. There'll be like a little bit of noise around moving things, especially at this very, very low pixel count. So things look a bit blah. And some games deal with it better, or rather, yeah, the codec can handle some games better than others. And yeah, so you'll see a bit of that gunk. I'm tweaking and tuning, or will be tweaking and tuning these things as we move forward. So for those of you who haven't guessed, in case you happen to hit a request for which I have a video, I will play said video. You know, mix it up. The chat should be layered on top. Like, ideally, people should be able to still say something and see that chat pop on top of that video, which it doesn't currently, but will at some point. And yeah, it's a little bit of a... And I have a few other tricks as well that I'm going to show at some point, but one thing at a time. Let's see if we have any requests right away. My guess would be no, because, hey, I don't do shows very... no, we do have requests. Jeez, here I am thinking people have forgotten all about me. Ziona kicking it off. How about some goodies like Berserk and Energy? So already here, I'm going to show my ignorance and go, is there a song with Berserk called Energy? Or is it just like you want energy and generally Berserk is a deliverer of said energy? And my guess would be it's the latter. And I do want to play a bit of Berserk. I will want to play... see, I would play Numero Uno, but that has lyrics in it, and YouTube goes like, "Meh, we don't like songs that seem to have copyright on them." And I'm not even sure that it... Like, I don't think it wrecks it. I think it'll just stamp it, which is a bit of a bummer. So why don't we instead go with, I feel, an underappreciated classic, which is Berserk's Floaty. Hang on while I just click my way to the folder. There we go, Berserk Floaty. So coming up, first request of the evening that goes out to Ziona, who wanted this track. Very happy to provide it for you. A bit of Berserk with Floaty. And there we have a bit of Berserk with Flow T, which was apparently not at all what Siona wanted. It wasn't just Berserk with energy. Apparently there is a track called Energy, but it was not my fault, and I'll tell you why it's not my fault. I'm a little drunk already, just having a beer here, and just it's not often that I unwind with a beer at the end of the day. I'm just gonna all of a sudden image is all blurry. I don't know if it's just you or me, or man, it's also half, like it's kind of busted as well. Jesus. There we go. Nope, that broke everything. How about, nah, it's not going to work either. Well, great. You know what? I tried to do a little skit, a little bit, and it fell apart immediately. But isn't that what you really want? You just, when you launch into something new, you just want it to break instantly. Because, then you're not at least fooled into thinking that, hey, maybe this could be fun. Nah, just breaks immediately. So I'm going to take it all back. No drunkenness at all, because that, I think I'm going to have to think about this. I wonder if I could, bear with me, everyone. Let me just indulge me for just a second. Let me try and do something and see what happens. What happens if I do this? Well, it all disappears. Great. Perfect. How about if I do that? Then what happens? Hang on. And it's gone again. Fuck. Crap. Who cares about doing like an interesting new show when you've got a busted program? Well, you know what? Then I'm gonna grab into the grab bag of things that I know work, and I will line up some requests because there are a bunch coming in, and they're all requesting new things that I don't yet have. So instead, I'm gonna do what I can do, and that's to give you just a little bit of something that you haven't seen yet, because you know what? We all like new things. What I'm gonna give you is a little bit of Instant Remedy with a bit of Lazy Jones. Take it away, Instant Remedy. And a nice long outro there that we're given. Let's just get rid of that because we're no longer. Yep, no, that's the end of Lazy Jones. And as you may or may not have guessed, I had to play all these fucking games. And yes, I said fucking because they're fucking games. Well, they're not technically fucking games, but you know. And they're there are words that I could say about the gameplay from these old classics, shall we call them. And, you know, things evolve, things get better. You shouldn't judge them too harshly, but you also shouldn't... There's nothing wrong with looking at classic games with a critical eye. One of the best examples, in my opinion, is the very first Mass Effect. Like, that game worked well because its storyline was compelling enough to drive you, but holy fucking shit, the gameplay in that game was not great. It was a vehicle to carry and propel you through the rest of it, and just sort of not get too much in the way. And if anything, it makes the second game all that more amazing and impressive, because that's when it all came together. Luckily, number 3 didn't drop the ball, and apparently they're remastering the Mass Effect trilogy, which is good news for people like me, because I have always wanted to play a bunch of the DLC that came out, but BioWare and their DLC for their games, there's always been something weird going on with them. I don't know if they, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say they hate people, but acquiring that DLC has been a bit of a nightmare, and there's like never been a sale of it. It's always like $10 to $15 for the most worthwhile DLC. It's crazy. Look, I have vowed now to make it up to Ziona, so I'm going to play her actual request after Slagon put me all straight. And Pete 64 chimes in and says Mass Effect 3 was the pinnacle. I think 2 was the pinnacle. I felt 3 and not by much. Like I'd put Mass Effect 1 at like 7 out of 10, and I'd give Mass Effect 2 9.5 maybe out of 10, and Mass Effect 3 8.5 out of 10. That's kind of how I'd put them. There's a little bit of a dip at the end. And honestly, it's because I feel they perfected the formula in 2. 3 just didn't really add much. It ended the story, which is awesome. And I think they had some interesting ideas for how they could time the multiplayer. But honestly, a lot of that felt really tacked on. Like, I wasn't so keen on the fact that they were like, hey, if you want to see the good ending, fucking get ready to play some of this multiplayer. And also, by the way, Slagon joins us in PlanMixPlay. The almighty leader. This is me. I've done this before. Like, when you listen to too much Boz Radio, by the way, listen to more Boz Radio, you start copying his trademark tricks. So I really shouldn't do that. I should find my own voice. So why don't I instead go with a bit of Trump and go like, it's amazing, Slagon has joined PlanMixPlay. Everybody knows Slagon. He's terrific people. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. And now Ziona, she wanted the song. It's really, if you ask me, it is the best song, and I know a lot about songs. It's Berserk with energy.
He can understand his name.
And there we have a little bit of Beezer with energy. Awesome. Haven't heard that before. Thanks for requesting it, Ziona. And I just thought I'd insert a little bit of a momentous pause in the speech, because that, who doesn't like a little bit of a pause? Welcome, everyone. It's probably in the early morning where you are. Here it's 8:45. I'm here for another hour, and heads up, at some point in the show, I am going to do what pretty much every YouTuber does, and that is to suck a little bit of viewer genitals, because I will be asking for your subscriptions. But I have a goal, and I'll keep it light, because I have been prepping a bit of visuals to go along with what the goal is. There is another... Yeah, sure, why not? Let's call this person an artist who has a YouTube channel with about twice as many subscribers as me. And I'm like, you know what? That's an excellent goal to set. I have just around 45 subscribers. And if I can get to 100, then I feel that... I feel it's been a success. And you only get there by asking. Like, people do subscribe on their own, but it helps to... ask gently, ask politely, and try to not ask every fucking minute. Suck genitals every once in a while, I think is the old adage. In the meantime, I am here to treat and not just provide sucking capabilities. So, good, both the good and the bad kind. So I've lined up yet another request. Wojciech says, "Welcome back, Gazoo. Hope you're doing fine. Can I have Dusty with Tusker Metal Tribute 2020, please?" I mean, when you ask that nice, then of course the answer is no. I'm going to play you Axel... No, I'm not going to play that. I'm going to play you Dusty XX with Metal Tusk... Wait, Subtune 3. It's not the one I wanted. Wait. Hang on. I was almost about to play you the wrong song. Yeah, get rid of Metal Tusker. No, we want XX Dusty with Tusker 03 Metal Tribute 2020 rework for Wojciech. Here you go. And thus we have a little bit of XX Dusty XX Tusker Metal Tribute 2020 rework. Thanks for requesting that, Wojtek. And it seems Shargo is also working on the Schrodinger's Cat Award, kind of popping in and out. And hopefully that works. It's been a really long time since I've done a show, and thus it's just, this is how, it might sound weird, so let me, why don't I fill in the blanks a bit? And people may be wondering, well, why am I so anticipatory of things not working? And the answer is, it's because just like any sort of mechanical machine, if you don't use something for a really long time, like a bike or a car, chances are it's not just going to start and work immediately. And it's kind of the same with programming. As PlanMixPlay evolves and grows, when parts of it becomes a bit dusty, then yeah, who knows if they work the way they're intended to. I've already found a couple of bugs tonight with the program. Unfortunately, it's not super likely I'll get to really address a lot of them by the show tomorrow, but at least I'll get to the point of saying, okay, this is a confirmed issue that needs to be dealt with and looked at. It's been a while, so I do have a couple monologues sort of saved up, but I figured, we'll take it a bit lightly. And as Slagon chimes in and says, I should not dust the machine so much with XX Dusty. It's a good one. I mean, yes, Slagon. Look, he is the guy who can pull the plug. So, much like Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, I am beholden to him like Rupert Murdoch. Not really. Slagon does not really, pull the strings and... Yeah, well, unless I had a video camera, then I would show you moving like a puppet, but I don't have that quite yet, or the one that I have is broken from being too dusty as well. Anyway, let's move on with another request. Banan, or I guess if you want it in English, he can also be Banan. And Banan wanted the St. Albans Rob Hubbard Fan Club Ace 2 Brunswick Music Festival. More than happy to pop that in. Let's give it a go. And there we have the St. Albans Rob Hubbard Fan Club Ace 2, requested by Banan, also known as Banon. And thank you very much for requesting that. Even though I feel a little bit of a monologue coming on, since we had someone who requested a song that has a little bit of video attached to it, I thought, yeah, why not? Now is the right time to keep streaming music. After all, it's what we're here to do, and we are halfway through. So, Shargo, you wanted a little bit of Radius with the Great China Sisters Deep Tunnel remix, and I'm more than happy to give it to you. So take it away, Radius. Yes, a little bit of Radius with the Great China Sisters requested by Shargo. Thank you very much for requesting that. And I feel like we're not quite done. I also do want to thank everyone who took the time to write in and recommend a few things that I should play in order to have the footage ready for this show. And Shargo was one of them, I believe. So he may well have known that he was going to get a bit of the Great China Sisters. And I feel like we're not done. This footage isn't quite done yet, and I'm keen to let some more of it run. So let's have a bit of DHS with TSW featuring Macke, China Sisters, Keep the Scene Alive.
It's time to press play on
That's right. Fuck you, Mr. Ant.
Of the world, instant remedy, Larson, feet soy, man, Johnny, Sonic Wanderer, Albert, Clean All Brown, O2, Mahoney, Valentine, and DHS Clown, Enjoy, Nike, THC, Zombie.
And that's what we're doing, to be honest. A little bit of DHS of TSW featuring Makia, Gina Sisters, Keep the Scene Alive, requested by me. And Maltus joins us in the chat as well. I think this is by far the most number of people we've had in the chat. In fact, if I just leave the chat and join again, just to see if I can see. Yep, sure enough, we have about 8 or 9 people. Sweet. And one of these people is Maltus. Maltus is apparently on a train on his way through to a hotspot of COVID in Germany. Stay safe out there, Maltus. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy his request, and he wanted a little bit of Ziona with Dynamoid remix. So take it away. That's a damn fine tune, even if I do say so myself. Ziona, who we happen to have here in the chat. That's really good remix, gotta say. Big fan. Big fan. Ah, man, we're already quarter past midway point. I wanted to tell stories, but then at the same time, like, you know what, let's just keep the good times rolling. Here's a favorite track of mine, which has a little bit of footage to it, and I'm just gonna say one thing, and that is, god damn, this game is hard. You will notice as I play it, and I guess get a little bit better at it from playthrough to playthrough, but god, this is an unforgiving game. Crazy Comets, Monger Meteor from The Dead Guys.
The dead guys have been asleep for a long time, but now we are back.
So how am I supposed to avoid that? For anyone watching the video, I'm the dead guy. Fucking comets. See? Fucking... Oh. That's just impossible. I'll stop talking. Here comes the good bit. I'll stop talking, but I'll play a completely different song as well. How about that? Nah, that won't do. I'm gonna go back. That part of the song is too good to be ruined. The Dead Guys with a little bit of crazy comments, Mongor Meteor. I like this footage as well, so much so that I'm just gonna put another song that kind of sort of fits the theme, and that's a little bit of Hazel with Lightspeed. So please enjoy Lightspeed. See? Eventually I get him. And then eventually they get me. Bit of Hazel with Lightspeed there for you, tagged on to the end of that crazy comet stuff. And I'm just having a bit of chat with Pete C64 about the difficulty of old C64 games. And yeah, it is pretty much, I'd say, a well-known fact that back in the day, for both home games and arcade games, well, that I probably shouldn't compare the two, because arcade games and home games, believe it or not, have a very different target. Like, literally, the goal of an arcade game is to hook you just long enough that you would like to put more money in to try again. And beyond that, like, nothing. Like, the reason arcade games ended up going as long as they did was mostly because there'd always be there would always be a subcategory of players who would just put more and more money in. Like, it would be the back then equivalent of today's mobile game whales. People who literally spend thousands, and I'm not exaggerating here, I mean literal thousands of dollars on mobile games just because of how it makes them feel. And so home games, on the other hand, were targeted more at, first it had to appeal enough just to get bought, and then after that, the sort of the proposition gets a little stranger, because by the time a home game is in your home, the sort of value proposition can get a little bit looser, because look, you've already bought the game, like, what are you going to do, return it? And yeah, some people did. So really at that stage, the game's main objective is to just not get returned. And in some cases that meant, like, the length of a game. Like, games used to be, for the cost of a single dollar, much more expensive. Like, games haven't really gone that much up in price. And that's primarily because the market has just grown and grown and grown. So bigger hits would just command more money because more people would buy them. And that's kind of a win-win for everyone, right? Like, it means as a consumer, you're still shelling out $50 or $60, but that $50 or $60 isn't near worth as much as it was back in the 80s. And at the same time, publishers and game creators, hopefully, are still getting good cash. Even though that's, again, I am simplifying things. But yeah, a game's main target after getting home to you was just to make sure you didn't want to return it. And one of those things would be, especially for parents, longevity. Like, if they bought their kid a game and the game would end within a day, like if your kid played through it in a day, that was no good. And unfortunately, some games work their way around that bullshit by just making the game super hard. Because, hey, hard games take longer to finish, or maybe you never finish them. And so I always appreciated when games tried a slightly different tactic to that. One of those games is one which I've had the video lined up for now, and that happens to be Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash is like, it's almost the classic Spelunky in a sense. Like, that game, I have a few things to say about that game, and I'm going to say them right ahead. I mean, look at this. Anyone watching the video stream, hopefully some of you are, I get that this is the third Boulder Dash, so they had to do something new, but fucking telling the blocks that you can dig through and the ones you can't apart is a nightmare. Like, the ones you can't dig through are brick, fine, but the ones you can dig through look like fucking metal plates. Like, it's insane. Like, I get that this, again, I have spoken with a few people, and I think the general hypothesis is, well, it was the third one, and something had to give graphically, right? Like, they couldn't have dirt again, so let's make it a space-themed one. But god damn it, like, metal would be probably more difficult to get through than brick. I can't get over that. It pisses me off. Let's listen to Rauli's version of Boulder Dash, the Funky Pebbles remix to calm us down. Rolly with a bit of Boulder Dash, Funky Pebbles, and good stuff, really. Berserk makes a request via Slay Radio. So, first of all, Berserk, thanks for tuning in. And let's have a listen to what you want. You wanted a bit of Daryl with Unicorn 2 Part 2, the techno remix, and I'm happy to serve that up to you. I've not heard this one before. Take it away, Daryl.
En ganske modding. Ja, modding. In Gazoo. Your free spirit. I don't know how you do it.
Well, first, move from a society that discourages individualism. Then move to a city that embraces it for 3 years.
It's easy.
We'll take the first shift on the floor.
God, it's techno music. God, it's techno music.
Daryl with Unicorn 2 Part 2 Techno Remix, requested by Berserk. Cheers, Berserk. Thanks for that request. Man, it's, again, I've had monologues stored up, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of also just like seeing everything work, and maybe the monologues are more of a nighttime thing, because, you know, there is an evening show coming up in about 10 hours or something like that, so I sort of feel like I just want to keep going, just want to play a few tunes. I thought I had this footage lined up, but it turns out I didn't. I'm still going to play the song. I might just play it on this show and the next show as well. And that is a bit of ER Kung Fu 2 and 1 remix from CZ Tunes. Take it away, CZ Tunes. CZ Tunes with ER Kung Fu 2 and 1 remix, and look forward to a bit of video for that for the next show coming up. And speaking of video and all this janky stuff, this is the point where I suck a little bit of viewer genitals and say to you, hey, if you like what is happening in the show, what you're listening to and what you're seeing, feel free to subscribe to the PlanMixPlay YouTube channel. It does help my giant ego. No, actually, it is a nice goal to have, because as the channel grows and as there are more subscribers, there are more things that you're allowed to do on YouTube. More subscribers does mean more freedom. And in addition to subscribing to me, I would also strongly recommend anyone watching and listening subscribing to the Slay Radio YouTube channel as well. I will try to embed a few graphics to kind of show how things are trucking along in regards to this other artist that I'm hoping to eke out. And I feel like it's possible. Like, I also need to do a bit more work promoting PlanMixPlay. One of the key things that listeners and viewers may not know is this thing is available for download right now. Like, you can log in on PlanMixPlay.com and download the software yourself and play around with it. The latest version isn't the stuff you're seeing in this show isn't all in this version that I'm broadcasting with. But it is close, and I will be releasing versions as we move along. It's a good point that Maltus makes, that I'm trying to make money on YouTube. I will say this much, advertising on YouTube has never really been the big draw. I mean, I have things to say about that, because YouTube has now recently apparently enabled advertising on all the small channels, despite the fact that not all channels can profit from advertising, which I think is a bit shitty. Like, I get why it's a money thing. It's an easy switch to flick and make more money, and also appreciate Shargo pasting in those YouTube channel URLs. And yes, Maltus, by the way, I'm still in Australia. But honestly, this isn't as much about the money as it is about building a community. Like, I would like to have more people use PlanMixPlay, or if nothing else, just check out what's happening. And of course, hey, if you don't want to, then don't. By all means, it's a free country, or at least a free planet, or we like to think it is. In the meantime, I thought we should get a little bit more C64 footage, because, hey, I kind of like this feature and probably going to continue using it. I'm even on my way to convincing maybe Slaygon to use PlanMixPlay. We never know. Coming up next, a little bit of Dax with Commando 2013, the dubstep rework. And you can enjoy watching me bite the dust, because, goddamn, another hard game, Commando. Take it away, Dax. Dax with a little bit of Commando, the 2013 dubstep rework. Good stuff. And hard, as you could perhaps see. That game takes no prisoners. It's not easy, but it is the type of game that falls under the category of being one of the more interesting designs in terms of what it offers. Like, I think it's pretty cool in terms of what it does, especially when you look back at what the C64 was able to do back in the day. Man, it's already come to this. We're already getting close to the end of the show. I really appreciate everyone who is listening in and hopefully enjoying the music that's been played in the show. I'm going to cross my fingers that the whole end credits thing works. So everyone who's in the chat now, I recommend that you have about 2 minutes to say goodbye. So if you want any messages to show up, now's the time. And as we're all saying our goodbyes, I hope everyone in Europe has a lovely day, afternoon, evening, until I see you again in about 10 hours. If, by chance, PMP shits the bed here in the ending, which would not surprise me, because I have not tested this in quite the while, then I will just say thank you for everyone who listened in and enjoyed the show. And again, if you want to support me, and as well as Slay Radio and Slaygon and everyone who's doing this sort of work, please subscribe to both the Slay Radio YouTube channel and the PlanMixPlay YouTube channel to hear more of this. And feel free to download PlanMixPlay, give it a toss, tell me what you like, what you don't like. It is finally at a stage where I find it an MVP. Yeah, it is a minimum viable product. It really does provide some features that no other things do. And hey, thanks for all the kind words in the chat, Votega. You're gonna get this in like 10 hours, so if you are around, I should probably make absolutely sure that I get this right. Let me just check talk amongst yourselves while I just have a look at the schedule. So, 8 o'clock my local time, which I think is 10 o'clock Europe time, is when I'm on again. I think that's in about 10 hours, 10 to 8 hours. Slayon is going to help announce this. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I had a blast. It was fun to try this. I already have a nice list of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bugs that need to be dealt with. Probably not before the next show, but they should be dealt with before I do this again. All right, fingers crossed, guys. If by chance the credit sequence should fail, I won't be back. We're just going to shut down the show as is. But let's cross our fingers and let Glennar Brown's Firelord Symphonic take us out. And really, really hope that the credits sequence doesn't break, because that would be a bummer. But if it does, so be it. See you on the other side, hopefully. Thanks, everybody.